Hello and welcome to this edition of LCAT News. I'm your host, Cameron Sutton. On Monday, the Town Council's Planning Matters Subcommittee continued its line-by-line revision of the proposed mixed-use zoning bylaw presented to the Council in May by the Planning Board.
Right off the bat, the first thing we wanted to do is, on page 1 of 7, is change the topic from mixed-use zoning district to mixed-use village zoning district.
The bylaw spells out requirements for mixed-use developments, something that has not been permitted in the past.
There's been discussion, planning board discussion, I think, about different sections or different situations in town that might trigger a different type of mixed use. That would be, I would think that would be a separate land use with different criteria, with different setback, side yard, lot coverage, whatever.
Developers have proposed a large residential and commercial project on the 40-acre site of the long-vacant package machinery building on Chestnut Street.
The benefit of mixed use, the true physical benefit of it, above and beyond all the niceties that we like, is that you need less physical parking for the two things together than you do for the two things separately. And you typically want to take advantage of that to then have your uses be closer together, so they're more pedestrian oriented, so they're more likely to interact, etc. By requiring the additional parking to be banked or to be preserved as green space, you are giving up that advantage. You're saying, instead of looking at it in its actuality and dealing with the interaction of the mixed use, you're saying regardless of that benefit, we still want more parking and provide that more parking space on the plan. And by doing that, you're giving up your benefit of mixed use.
But in a way, we've already addressed that as a town with our current parking minimum requirements.
But you don't have mixed use.
No, we don't, but we have parking formulas for all the uses within the mixed use.
But they're singulars.
Well, true, but this is what we did, Jane, with the planned business development, where if, a commercial piece requires 5,000 square feet for one parking space, 5 spaces commercial, I'm getting mixed up, five spaces commercial for 1,000 square feet, retail it's 6. You have a formula of 4.5, so you're already getting a reduction, recognizing the shared piece. So, I'm not.
But you have to also recognize the shared piece that you're having now with residential too, and you're going to have like this flow out.
But you're not. But even based on how your parking is situated and what you showed us, people who are coming in here to use this aren't going to park over here.
So the question is, you can't add parking once the parking's been created. But if you have an emergency area for it, and we come back and go, you know what, I guess East Long Meadow really does love that Emeralds that, like you put it in one of your other places, because I remember, that stayed in my mind when you were pitching it earlier. And they come in and go, we really like that. Boy, we miscalculated parking. Oh, well, too bad. Park on Chestnut Street. We'll have valet parking off street. We'll do things like that, like you see on the Cape. If you can, in a planning point of view, if you can at least address it, and now we're a couple years later and you say, that open space and we got 70% occupancy, bless you. Do we really need that? Then we can revisit it.
On Monday evening, the school committee heard the annual district SMART Goals presentation from Superintendent Smith and the school building administrators. SMART Goals lay out the priorities and action steps for the year within each school and tend to reflect current trends in educational theory and practice.
We have to all understand how we're integrating both the academic and the social emotional education. That's not something that just is on the periphery or as an add-on. It's something that we should be doing all the time in our lesson plans with our students in whatever we're doing. You're combining those.
So what we've done as an elementary team is we've taken the 3 goals from this presentation tonight and we've created a slide for each goal. And a presentation that reflects each school connected to that goal, and each individual principal will present each goal or each slide. So my goal, on my slide, to present for our elementary school is supporting the whole child. So Maple Shade is beginning to lead and improve a multi-tiered support system in our school. So if you haven't heard about MTSS, it's kind of a newer educational term for supporting the whole child really well.
Tim and myself and the staff at Bertram Park Middle School are tasked with a unique challenge in that I believe that if a person lives until the age of 110 years old and are asked to look back on the 3 most difficult years of their life, they would indicate that those 3 years of their life would be middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And it's that thought that powers every decision that we make to ensure that that's not the case for our kids at Birchland.
So at the high school, we continue to help our teachers develop 21st century learning, not only in instruction, but in curriculum and in our assessments. 21st century learning is kind of hard to describe and hard to really kind of unpack. It's not something that you can buy in a box and roll it out to teachers and say, try it. In order for 21st century learning to really take place, teachers really need the time to collaborate and the professional development opportunities to engage with it. And so some of the things that we're doing at the high school is, as you know, our teachers all have to create professional practice goals for the year, and that's something that they do voluntarily. They work collaboratively with each other. This year, 85% of our teachers chose as their professional practice goal something to do around 21st century learning, and 42% of those teachers are specifically doing something with technology.
Following the presentation, Smith presented a draft of his superintendent's educator plan.
It's obviously very synchronized with what you saw from the district presentation of SMART goals. So, I firmly believe, and obviously have to lean on our entire team, that if we can do a good job with that supporting the whole child goal, you're going to see the achievement numbers come up in all areas. I think that's going to be something we've been talking about the last 2 years, both at the school committee level, but probably most importantly at the building level, in terms of how we support our teachers in understanding this so that we can connect with all our students and support them in the best way possible.
Residents began taking delivery this week of new trash bins provided by the town, funded mostly through a grant from the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection. Income generated from the town's green bag and recycling programs covered the remainder. The wheeled bins will make it easier for homeowners to help the town reduce the cost of trash. Delivery of the bins was staged from the DPW yard in Long Meadow, which partnered with East Long Meadow in the free distribution program. Residents are reminded that only bins with closed lids will be picked up at the curb. Additional trash may still be left for pickup in the green town trash bags. Old barrels may be retained and used for recycling or dropped off at the transfer station on Summers Road. Any wheels which are not recyclable must be removed from old barrels and discarded before drop-off. Anyone in need of assistance may call the health department at 525-5400, extension 1103. Monday, November 11th is Veterans Day, recognized each year with a parade and ceremony honoring the service of all who have served in the United States Armed Forces. The parade steps off from the Gunther Rally, American Legion Post 293 on Crane Avenue at 10:50 and proceeds to the town hall for the laying of wreaths. On Thursday, the East Long Meadow Council on Aging held its annual Veterans Dinner at the Pleasant View Senior Center.
Almighty God and Father of all, we deem this a fitting time to celebrate and honor those brave men and women who served in the armed forces of this great republic. We thank them for their courage and sacrifice in defense of our freedom. We also remember their families for all that they endure in giving love and support to our veterans.
Veterans and their service to the United States has long been honored in my family, and so I'm pleased to be here to at least greet you and tell you how much I appreciate everything that you've done and the sacrifices that you've made.
We do have a guest of honor here tonight, and last night he was honored at the Elks. He's a Veteran of the Year, Springfield Elks, and he had served 25 years in the United States Army. He was stationed in Iraq, Desert Shield, and I would appreciate if he could stand so we can acknowledge him. Thomas O'Connor.
With Thanksgiving approaching, donations to local food pantries for those in need are especially welcome. The East Longmeadow Food Pantry at the Senior Center is open to all and utilized by over 100 individuals and families each month. The center is also about to begin its mobile food pantry service to those in need who can't get to Pleasant View to pick up needed items. For more information about the East Longmeadow Food Pantry and mobile food pantry, call Danelle Tavella at 525-5436. And on Thanksgiving, the annual Stuffing the Pantry 5K Run Walk takes place at 8 a.m. in the Lenox parking lot. The event benefits Open Pantry Community Services in Springfield, which provide a range of services to residents in the greater Springfield area, including holiday meals. You can register for the event at the Stuffing the Pantry Facebook page. Finally, a reminder to get your tickets for the 125th Anniversary Final Gala Dinner event to be held Saturday, November 16th at St. Luke's Church. There will be live music and an elegant dinner featuring prime rib and 3 complimentary entrees, plus great raffles and a look back at the year in celebration.
125 years is a long time. Those years hold a lot of history, a lot of memories, and probably a lot of clues about where we might go from here.
Seating is limited, tickets are $40 per person, and are available at the town manager's office or at eventbrite.com under East Longmeadow 125th. That's it for this edition of LCAT News. I'm Cameron Sutton. Thanks for watching. See you next time.